You are listening to The Objective Jerk, where objectiveness is the objective, and I am said jerk.
Hello, this is the Objective Jerk, and I am said jerk. How are my Draconians doing out there? Everybody's doing good? Here I am doing another podcast. I just did one yesterday. Usually it's like every couple days. When I'm in my shit moods, I can go like 2 weeks without doing one. But so I guess this is a sign that my depression, bipolar, whatever, is going away. So more and more I'm like finding or I'm seeing these attributes, I guess, maybe. I don't know. And God, I always got like phlegm and stuff when I do these. Okay. Every time. Okay. I need to start drinking some mentholated gel or something and clean up my system. Anyway, I spoke to I'm looking at myself instead of the thing. Spoke to my my therapist that I have assigned with the VA. It's a video conference. I knew the appointment was yesterday. Like I knew it was coming, but I like the night before. I'm like, I got an appointment tomorrow at 3, and then I just go about my day. And then I was like trying to take a nap, and then she calls, and then I was just an ornery asshole the whole time. But she was talking, doing her thing, and I really wasn't in the mood for it. And the things she was saying, I kind of already knew, or like I didn't feel like it kind of was what is affecting me the most. You know what I mean? And so I was kind of, I was tired, and I just was like, I don't want to talk to you, basically. But, excuse me, we did the hour, and I told her, I was like, thanks for calling, thanks for everything, even though I'm appearing to be unappreciative. I told her, I was like, I appreciate, her doing her thing and stuff like that. So, because I don't know, usually, I have, I guess what I would say, like a decent appointment or whatever. I'm more engaged, and but I was just in a shit mood. Plus, I was like, I just fell asleep to take a nap, and she called, and I was like, oh crap, that's right, and so that sucked. Anyway, I was an MP in the Army, and one of my many jobs was to do access control, access security. So basically, standing at the gate, checking IDs as people were coming on post. Before 9/11, it was a little more laxed as far as people could come on post, just civilians. They'd show their driver's license probably or something. But so I joined after 9/11, so it was a little more strict. You had to have a military ID, or you had to be with somebody with a military ID to get on. So anyway, 12-hour shift, sitting at a gate, people coming on, and me growing up to address, especially an adult or maybe just somebody you don't know, as sir or ma'am, and then in the military even more so, if you don't know their rank and they're not in a military uniform, you address them as sir or ma'am. If they're an officer, sir or ma'am. And multiple times, I'd be at the gate, and an individual would come in wearing like their PT uniform, short hair, kind of masculine, and I would say, "Oh, okay, hey, thank you, sir. Have a great day." And it's a woman. She's like, I'm female," or I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Okay." It happens. We're we're trained to say sir or ma'am. You know, it's the proper respectful term that you use when you're talking to an individual who is not a friend, somebody you don't know them by their name or their maybe their job title or whatever. It's just sir, ma'am, right? And so now in today's crazy society, we have multiple transgender individuals all throughout society now. And you know, I mean, I would say, I don't know, I can't even really remember a time where I saw a transgender individual where until it was when I was in the VA, so 2018, 19, and I started seeing more men that were, you know, cross-dressing or looking like a woman, but it's completely obvious it's a man. And you know, if you're to address them as ma'am, you had to really like focus on it. You had to just okay, ma'am, yes, ma'am, no, you know what I mean? But it's like if you ended up having a long conversation, at some point in time, I would address them as sir, because you're doing something and you can hear their voice. Hey, but they look, maybe they, you know, they look like a man just with some long hair and lipstick, you know, and they sound like a man. So you're doing stuff. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know, ma'am. You know, yes, I get that. Some people deliberately gender whatever somebody to be a dick or whatever. I get that. But, you know, a lot of people are trying to be respectful. But you can't just turn off, you know, 30, 40, 50 years of calling somebody sir or ma'am and then change it because they want to be, oh, I'm a woman. But it's like, you know, it's just you hear and everything's a man. It's just, it's a natural, it's instinct kind of, you know what I'm saying? It happens. And the thing is like people get so upset when they get misgendered. But it's these people that really don't look like, you know, there are trans individuals that look straight up like whatever they identify as. You know what I mean? Like I would not know. Maybe until they talked or something. I don't think I've met anybody and conversed with somebody thinking they were female and later learned, oh, that was a guy. What? I mean, I've seen on like TV or on, you know, on YouTube or something, but and vice versa. You know, it's a guy. Like the actor that is now a male. I can't think of the name. She was an ex. He what? See, this is the thing. See, it's like I know she started as a female, so I'm gonna address it as she. It's just, it's not. I'm not trying to be a dick. It's just, you know, you can't just. I don't know. And I guess okay. Well, I'm getting off track. So he looks like a male, but I still know the person. Like if I see the face, I'm like, okay, that's that actor. That was a female. If I didn't know that at all and I saw this person, I think I would think, you know, she was a male. But in person, it's kind of different though, you know? When you get up close, you notice things, the shoulders, the broad shoulders, the hands. There's certain things that you kind of notice. And you're like, oh, this is a trans right here. And I see it here in the Philippines, you know? It's like when somebody is like just overly projecting the identity that they're identifying with, it makes it kind of, so what I'm trying to say is like all girls and women here kind of dress similar, you know, but then all of a sudden you get this really like over the top look at me, I'm sexy kind of outfit thing. And, at first I'm a guy, so I'll see it. I'm like, what the? And I'll look, and for a second, yes, very attractive, but a little over sexual. You know what I mean? Like it's too much, right? And then when you get a few seconds to look at him, you're like, okay, that's a guy. You know what I mean? So that happened to me a lot. Now it's like when I see someone that's like very dressed up and whatever and just really doing a walk and just, I'm like, okay, that's a guy. You know? I don't know why I'm talking about this. But, but oh, okay, so there's a lot of individuals that just don't really look like, you just have this, like me. Picture me all of a sudden trying, well, I don't have any hair, but trying to grow my hair and put on makeup and act like a female. It's like it's not gonna work. I mean, there is a wrestler who was really big, facial hair, whatever, and he has become a woman. And in all honesty, he doesn't look bad, but you can tell the broad shoulders and certain things. You know what I mean? It's like, so, but there are some that's just, it's, you can't it's like just living in a fairy tale. It's just some kind of crazy fantasy that they have, and it's too much. You know what I mean? It's and I think it's just these individuals, just they do have a mental condition. You know, just like my depression and I think bipolar. I'm trying to figure it out. Um, there's these people have a mental condition and they identify as trans, and even though a lot of them are just, it's a dude who has sex with women and whatever, but dresses up as a girl. But then they get mad when we, oh, sorry, sir, or whatever. It's like, dude, you can't, I don't know. Anyway, the whole point of me talking about this is recently during a, I don't know, state legislature kind of meeting, there was, I think it's Virginia. Oh, wait, I had it on my phone. Virginia has a trans woman who, is a biological man, and she is the senator for Virginia. So I'm just going to kind of read this article real quick. It's pretty short. So anyway, a Virginia state senator stormed out of the chamber after being misgendered as sir by the lieutenant governor in a confrontation that caused the Virginia legislature to go into recess twice, the Daily Mail reported Tuesday. In the video footage of the exchange, Senator Danica Roem, who is transgender and a Democrat, of course, is there a Republican trans? I mean, I guess, is it Blair White? There is a trans man, woman who identifies as a woman, she's conservative, I think, and on videos and everything, she looks like a woman. She's attractive. I'm not gonna lie. But that's through video. In person it may be different, but but she's very. See, I can say she because I haven't met her. She sounds like a woman. She looks like a woman, so it makes it easier to say the right gender when they completely look and sound like what they're trying to be. I think a big thing is the sound, the voice. When you hear the you just, sir, yes, sir. You know what I mean? You're just, it's like automatic. You can't change it. So she's, I think, conservative. She probably wouldn't consider herself conservative, but she's a little more level-headed and understands kind of, she's realistic about the whole thing, And like I said before, I think there are some people that are born gay, but I think there are so many more, especially now, that are identifying and want to be a part of the LGBT community, just to be a part of something. And because it's cool, it's trendy, or they have, they having problems, and they, you know, when I was a kid, like, to rebel against your parents, you would smoke or get earrings or something like that. You know what I mean? Now it's like, oh, I want to be a different sex. I want to identify as whatever, this and that. You know what I mean? It's just, it's I don't know. Anyway, so let me continue on with this article. Gosh, I'm horrible at this. Democrat can be heard asking, Madam President. So this is what and I watched the video. So it's not like, yes, sir. You know what I mean? She was doing something like exactly kind of thing I've encountered. I'm doing something. I can hear, ask the question. Yes, sir. Now, she doesn't have like a deep voice, but it's not feminine either, So I could see, I don't think this lieutenant governor did it on purpose to be a jerk, even though she's, female jerk or whatever. Anyway, Madam President. So this is the senator. How many votes would it take to pass this bill with the emergency clause? And the governor answered, the Governor Winsome Earl, Republican. She replied, so they gotta put that in there. Yes, sir. That would be 32. But she was like, yes, sir. That's 32. You know what I mean? At which point, Roem marched out of the room. After initially refusing to apologize, probably because she didn't do it on purpose. It was just, But then she later said, I am not here to upset anyone. I am here to do the job that the people of Virginia have called me to do. That is to treat everyone with respect and dignity. I myself have at times not been afforded that same respect and dignity. So she made it clear that in this body, as long as I am president of the Senate, and by the grace of God, I will be treated with respect and dignity, and I will treat everyone else with respect and dignity. She reiterated that we are all equal under the law. I apologize, and I would hope everyone would understand there is no intent to offend. Roem, who is the first transgender senator elected to Virginia upper chamber, has not commented on it. So this is what I'm talking about, though. Or this is what kind of annoys me. So she's in this thing, and then she gets misgendered. This is political. They're trying to vote on a bill and whatever, and then she gets misgendered, so she leaves because she was misgendered. That's very childish and very immature, which means the same thing, and just stupid. And it's shit like this that people don't want to. They don't want to conform to their gender ideology kind of crap, the misgendering shit. I don't know. First of all, it's gonna take a while, which kind of is like, okay, that's probably their point. They keep doing this. Eventually, people will get it, but it doesn't. So what is it gonna be if they're gonna create like a new word for just addressing somebody that yes. So that's the whole they them. So the kids now that are hooked on TikTok and smartphones and all this bullshit, instead of addressing yes sir or yes ma'am, they're just gonna be like yes them, no ma'am, or no them. You know what I mean? Like they're making up some new alien language. It's like, what the fuck? This is stupid. It's just like being famous. If you want to be famous, there's consequences. You're gonna get hounded by paparazzi. You're gonna, people want to know your personal life and all this kind of crap. If you're gonna be trans, you're gonna get misgendered. That's just, unless you happen to look like the gender that you identify as, like to a T. You know what I mean? It's gonna happen. And it's like, what if you're in the military? You're a captain. You're a captain. No, let's say you're, I don't know, a sergeant first class. You're at the battalion TOC, which they used to call the TOC, the Tactical Operations Center. You're man in the radio. You're in a combat zone. You got patrols in Baghdad. shit starts hitting the fan. You're a sergeant first class manning that talk radio, and you're a transgender, and you identify as a woman, but you're like, make sure shit's kind of getting crazy, whatever, and somebody answers, yes, sir, no, sir, it's blah, 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 whatever, this and that. And then they're just going to, like, not talk on the radio or just forget what's going on. I was misgendered. What? No, I'm leaving. Fuck this. You know what I mean? It's like, you can't act like a child because you're misgendered. You just can't. If you want to hold office as a senator, or you want to be in charge of a company in the army, or you want to be in charge of a civilian multi-whatever company, you can't just stop everything and go cry in the corner because you're misgendered. Fuck you. You know what I mean? No, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Dude, you want to be misgender, or you want to be trans, that's fine. You want people to, call you by whatever, this and that, that's fine. But don't get mad if people don't want to do it, or people accidentally do, the opposite of what you want or whatever. You know what I mean? It's childish. And it just shows the mentality of the LGBT whatever with trans. You know what I mean? It's like, and it's not all of them. I've talked about, I don't think so I married, my wife. So it's on my wife's side. I don't think they're family. I think they're more like a family friend. They've been friends with this family for so long that they almost consider as family or whatever. But this person is, when I met, I'm going to say him because I've tried it before and it's hard. But when I first met him, he was a gay guy. He was a gay man. I think it was it at the Pike Place Market in Seattle? I think was the first time I met him, maybe. I don't know, but met him, and he was, he had facial hair, he had long hair, but he was a guy, but he was very feminine, I had no problems with him. And then, he got married, but I guess as he was married, he started to kind of identify more as a woman. He started wearing makeup. He started dressing up. And I guess his husband didn't like it. He wanted, he was obviously gay and wanted to be married to another gay guy, not a gay guy, trans or whatever, I guess. I don't know. I'm kind of talking out of turn. Is that the term? I don't know for sure. What I do know is they got divorced, and I think I heard something like that. But anyway, so now, he comes to visit. He's actually going to be visiting pretty soon, but he dresses, he wears dresses, wears makeup. For a while, he let his facial hair grow, but I think he shaves it now. But, and he looks like a woman, but I don't know if it's just because when I met him as a man, you know what I mean? It's almost like, somebody wearing a costume for Halloween, but never taking it off. You know what I mean? And so it's just, and this individual, he likes to be called her or she. You know what I mean? So if he's out in public and somebody says, "Oh, yes, ma'am," or this and that, he loves it. He's like, cool. If somebody says sir or whatever, whatever. It doesn't, I'm sure maybe it bothers him a little, but he doesn't make a big deal out of it. He understands the situation, and he's not going to make a huge deal out of it. And that's the way to kind of really go about it. The people yes, I want to be identified as this. And I don't know, maybe over time, 100 years from now, everybody's gonna be called they, them, or something. I don't know. I'm glad I won't be here to see it. But the whole thing is just, it's insane to me. It's insanity, you know? I don't know. But anyway, that's it. I've been talking for, 25 minutes. Thanks for hanging out with me. Like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Send me an email, comment, whatever. Thanks for listening, and I will see you guys next time. All right, bye. Hey, do me a favor, and however you're either listening or watching this, please give it a like or subscribe or follow or whatever. And then, do me another favor and give me a little comment. Let me know what you think. Or, just a thumbs up, I guess. Whatever. It all helps. I appreciate it. And have a good one.